Okay, so I always say if you own a boat and you have a marina slip, you have to move twice a year. Well, in the Midwest, not in Florida or wherever you're at there, because the lake freezes over here on this side, so you got to get the water out the lake. You could pay extra to leave it in the cold water, and they put bubblers underneath it. But this is another reason why I say the reason why we got this boat is because it fits on my property. If you buy a boat that is big, that cannot fit on your property, cannot fit through your driveway, your carport, or whatever, then you're always going to have to pay for storage. So this does not have to get paid for storage. We do pay for the shrink wrapping and the winterization of the motor. The battery is disconnected. There ain't no seats in it or anything, and that's about $600 a season. Okay, so right now I'm going to wash off all the bumpers right here. I need one more coat of wax on the bottom of the boat before I can move it. We move it to stage 2, which is over here because it's closer to the hose, so we can get the battery in and we can put the muffs on. Now the muffs we got are the ones that water comes in from both sides, not from one side, from both sides, to get the motor on, because you want to try it, you want to get it started, you want to get it on before you're in the water and find out something's wrong. I put the bilge pump on, make sure it's pumping water outside of it and everything. So the reason why I gotta wax it before I move it to stage 2 is because we have it on jacks. These tires right here are not on the ground. These tires, it's covered up with this so the sun don't beat it. I tell everybody the sun will wear everything out. This right here, this is waxed. I constantly keep this waxed, and I use Griot's Garage car wax. You let it cure on here and it really protects it from the sun. You leave your boat in the water all the time, all season, or at least half the season. The sun is one of the worst enemies on your paint, on your seats, on your life jackets, on your canvas. You have to, I used I shot a video of what I sprayed on my canvas, because if you just throw this right here and leave this colors the whole season in the sun, all this will fade and all this will start to tear and start to rip. Same thing with your boat canvas. You leave your boat canvas in the sun, you have to treat your boat canvas, because that sun will just fade it and wear it out. And it's the same thing with the paint. You think this paint has a gloss coat and everything like that, and you see cars with the clear coat chipping off. That's because they weren't waxed, and that's because so I got one more bottom coat wax, and the bottom wax, the Aurora VS 721, this is a M-hole bolt. Now people leave them in the water and they paint the bottom of their boat, and they have to do it like every 2 to 3 years. But they say once it's painted one time really good, you just gotta upkeep it every 2 to 3 years. Okay, and that has some copper in it to keep the algae from building off, although algae is just hard, it builds up. So algae will build up on this. Although with the Aurora VS 721 and the Griot's Garage, Aurora VS 721 the bottom, Griot's Garage on the top, it wipes off really easy. So one more coat on the bottom, you need 2 coats, and you need to let the 2 coats cure before you put it in the water. And then the Griot's Garage, you could put 2 coats on that also, but you got to let it cure before you put it in the water. So today I'm washing off all these. We're moving to the marina, we're washing them off, and I hang them. It looks funny, but I put a rope from like the back pole, and then I have like 4 of the bumpers hanging in there, because if the wind's blowing, if it's pushing you too far with the pole, we could actually grab the rope to pull us further in. And if the boat does hit in there, it's rubbing on all the bumpers and it's not rubbing on all the wood. So that's why if you look at my slip, the back 4x4s, the back 2 has a rope with 4 bumpers hanging in there, and that's because if the wind's blowing too much, or if we're overshooting, or we could reach and grab the rope with the pole and pull us further in. Now let me show you another thing I did. See how this is shrink wrapped? Well, let me see. Okay, this is shrink wrapped right here, and it has air vents. It has air vents on it because the air vents allow it to breathe with the condensation. It is hot right now. I mean, everything's hot to the touch. That's allowing it to breathe. But when it's cold outside, it's cold over the night, and then it gets hot in the day, you still get condensation in here. So there's condensation, there's stuff to absorb the condensation that they put inside the boat, and there's no seats inside here. You want complete circulation inside there when it's stored like this. So let me show you where my boat seats are. In the very back of the basement, these are the boat seats and the boat fenders. Actually, I got to get the boat fenders out right there because I'm putting those in today too. but they're all in plastic and they're all on the inside because I do not leave the seats on the boat over the winter, because I want the air to be able to circulate throughout all that. And if you got the seats on, the air is not going to circulate underneath the seats of the boat. That's going to be stagnant air and build condensation. So that's why all these are down here. And if you just leave, I'm telling you, if you just leave them out in the sun all day long and don't put your boat cover on and just leave it like that, you're gonna have faded, ripped seats. So that's why this is here. I gotta get these fenders out now to take them up there. Okay, another thing you need to know if you're gonna be on the boat, well, this Lake Michigan, I don't know how much other lakes you're gonna need, but you do need a throwable. This is considered a throwable. This looks like a seat cushion, but you can throw this out to somebody that needs it. And we have the buoy, the Coast Guard approved ring with line. The Coast Guard approved ring with line. You do need the flares. I think I left my flares in the boat, so I gotta check because they're up to date. They have to be up to date. Now we got all these life jackets, so you do need a life jacket. Your boat, every boat has a weight limit or a person limit. You gotta check that person limit, and you have to have enough life jackets for the person limit. Just keep it in the boat, just in case you ever got your boat maxed out with people. You have enough life jackets. I think it's under, if they're under 13 or 15, it's mandatory at Lake Michigan over here in Chicago that they wear them if they're under a certain age. You gotta look into that age. Now these are the good ones that fit everybody, that we know they fit everybody, and you could buy these in packs of 4, and these are considered a life vest. What I have these two down here for is for the anchor in the boat. The anchor in the boat sits underneath the compartment above this right here. So we put these in that compartment, so when you're hitting the waves, the anchor is not bouncing on the boat. The anchor is actually on that. Smarter than the average bear. Okay, we got the van length out, so that's the trunk, part 1 of the move. Part 2, we're gonna put everything after we finish washing and waxing that. Before I even put the seats in there, the inside of it gets waxed with Griot's Garage and lets it cure. Before we even put the seats in there, then we put the seats on. But we don't put the seats on until we get to the marina, because technically you're not supposed to drive with your regular boat canvas on, because the buttons will pop off, the buttons will snap out of the fiberglass. But we got a 4-minute ride, so we try to just go really slow and have everything buttoned down. So sometimes we do put the seats in with the regular canvas on, and sometimes we just have everything off, the bare bones, bare ass boat, and drive it over there, and in the parking lot put everything in it. So we'll see how it goes this year, but this is part 1 of the move to the marina. And if you live in the Midwest and you want to buy a boat, like I said, if you're gonna buy a boat, make sure it could fit on your property either way. Other than that, look for storage where you're gonna have to store your boat at if it can't fit on your property. That's a big thing for me, because you're paying to put it somewhere else, to leave it for the season. And I had anxiety before when I was looking at a bigger boat. If you're buying a used boat, have it surveyed. I know it's expensive, but there's fiberglass, and if there's a crack in the hull that you don't know about, it's gonna haunt you down the road. If there's a leak coming in, it's gonna haunt you down the road. The bilge pump, we're at the marina yesterday, and there was a little boat in there, but the bilge pump kept kicking on and kicking on and kicking on. Well, there's a leak in that boat somewhere because the bilge pump kept kicking on. But if that bilge pump wears out, you're screwed. All right, see you later. Bye bye. Okay, so when you get to your marina pier, you could decorate it. My honey got this rubber mat. Life is better at the lake. Rigo Ego is putting in the solar lights. These are solar lights with just little clips, and they actually go ahead and light up the dock. And we got some for the ground also. But here's one thing that you do not do: don't set anything on your dock box. I am the culprit of setting stuff on your dock box. Do not set stuff up on your dock box, because somebody is going to open up your dock box and whatever you have is going to be in the water. I am a culprit of that, and she's a culprit of that. Her sunglasses are somewhere down there. Okay, so we're almost done over here, and if you can see, I admit I am a novice boat driver, so therefore you see all my fender bumpers I got, bam 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 bam, and the 2 big black ones on the side. Now the 2 black ones are actually for the fender where your rub rail sits at. Oh, they still got $300,000 homes right by where those things pass. Okay, so this is for the boat to sit on the rub rail. The rub rail sits on that. These they're inside of this right here. So I would say coming in hot. If we're coming in too fast, I don't hit the post right here. I hit the bumpers, and we could bounce off the bumpers. Now also I have the rope right there because we got the big dock pole. So if we're coming in and it's hard, it's a windy day blowing the opposite way with the dock pole, we could grab that rope and pull ourselves in easier. This right here doesn't have anything in the middle, and I got the 2 fender bumpers right there because this is where we get on and off the boat at right here. So that's what that is. We got the lights and everything. We got the umbrella. We're actually going to get another umbrella, and my honey took the rubber mat because I didn't bring the screws for the rubber mat. But let me show you this right here. Somebody else got the fender bumpers for their boat, but they don't got it in yet. And of course they got, it's a bigger boat, it's a really nice boat, but they got the nice fender bumpers all along, and they got the ones lower for the lower rub rails. Now the rub rails sit up top right here, then the rub rails go down over there, and that's why they have that set up like this. So, and on the ports, the marina ports, there's 30 amp breakers and there's 50 amp breakers. These are the breakers underneath, and oh, this one don't even have any. This doesn't even have any. Let me go to mine over here. Wait, I don't have any. Let me check over here. Okay, you get the water, so that's for your hose. Can't even get this open. Hold on. Got this one open. This is mine right here, and there's your 30 amp 125 volt breaker right there. Now they sell the adapters and they sell the hoses right there. That's where you plug in at. That's where you're plugging your boat at, but you do need the marina plugs, and it's a 30 amp breaker.